Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the THW NHL News and Rumors Rundown. My name is Jim Parsons. We are days away from the NHL trade deadline coming and going. We are getting there. There's action. There's actually moves. There are trades to announce. There are things to talk about. There's tons of speculation. It looked like things were going to be a little bit slow, but as always, it starts to speed up. Things start to happen. We're going to cover some of those moves, plus some things that we're watching for here over the next couple of days. We'll have at least one or two more of these videos prior to the 21st deadline. But if you want to follow us and all of the information on all of the trades and the talk and speculation surrounding it, go to thehockeywriters.com. All the articles are up there as well. You can hit up Twitter at The Hockey Writer. You can go to facebook.com/The Hockey Writers. You can check out our YouTube channel. There's tons of ways that you can get the content that we're doing, kind of following and talking about here. But let's get right into it. It started here with Josh Manson. Anaheim Ducks defenseman was traded to the Colorado Avalanche. So the Avalanche kind of set the tone here. They're the ones first coming out here. It was believed there were a lot of teams interested in Manson, but Avalanche are going to add some size and grit and physicality to their blue line, which was a really smart move for them. Ben Chiarot was then traded to the Florida Panthers. Once Manson was moved, Chiarot became a name that really a lot of people were looking at, and there were tons of teams in on this. Calgary, St. Louis, Boston, Florida. But Florida is the one that lands him. They spent a lot to get him, so it'll be interesting to see if he pays off there. But GM Bill Zito said a lot of positive things about Chiarot, what he's going to bring to that team. Calle Jarnkrok was traded to the Calgary Flames from the Seattle Kraken. The former Predator is going to be adding some depth to the Flames forward group. They're really making a run for it now. A lot of talk coming out of Calgary that they might not be done, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's get into some of the names that we're actively watching that are kind of at the forefront of all the rumors and speculation. Claude Giroux is obviously the big one. Right now it's Colorado and Florida. Talk about two teams that are making active moves here that already did some stuff. They're the two teams that are kind of in the mix here. It started with Colorado being the team that he was preferring to go to first, and then it now sounds like Florida might be the team that he's most preferential to joining. So we'll see if either one can make this deal. They're going to have to make some room to make the money work, but Florida and Colorado are the two kind of the front runners for Giroux at this point. Talk out of Calgary that if they want to do anything else, they're going to have to move some money out, and Frank Saravalli of Daily Faceoff says that Sean Monahan might be the guy that they move. Now that he's saying that Calgary is not actively interested in moving Sean Monahan if they don't have to, but this is a money deal. So if Calgary wants to go out and add another big piece, whether it's a Mark Giordano or another forward or something like that, Monahan has not been terribly productive this season. He's making a lot of money. If they can shake his $6+ million salary, or at least a chunk of it, that's going to really help them free up some space to do some stuff. And it's not clear if Monahan's going to be part of the long-term planning in Calgary, considering he's had 2 bad years. But those 2 bad seasons are part of the reason why selling him right now might not be the best idea, because he's not exactly going to be at the highest trade value that he's ever going to receive. And whoever takes him is going to get him for a steal of a deal just so that Calgary can shake some money. Talk out of Detroit that they are absolutely selling, other than a couple players on their team. Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider, everybody's up. So that includes Tyler Bertuzzi. If you're looking for a forward and you're not concerned about his vaccination status and that he can't play in Canada, that's not really a big deal for you. He's the guy that you might want. He's locked into a deal until 2023. He's got a pretty good season rolling for him, his best career in the NHL season to date so far. So Tyler Bertuzzi might be a guy to watch. Now, we're not sure how many teams are going to be actively interested in adding him, considering the fact that he can only maybe play half of your games if you play a Canadian team in the first round of the playoffs, but we'll see if he picks up any traction. Hampus Lindholm is another name that we're watching out of Anaheim. Sounds like the Ducks and Lindholm are not close. They're not figuring it out when it comes to term on an extension, and so they're probably going to be seeking a trade here. First-round pick at the bare minimum, plus a prospect is going to be part of that return. And when you watch what Ben Chiarot went for, or Manson went for, Lindholm is going to fetch that if anybody does acquire him. Going to be lots of teams interested in Hampus Lindholm. And then in terms of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Kyle Dubas is still out there looking around, checking for a goaltender, checking for a blue liner. But there's a lot of reports saying that they're not really sure what the priority is in Toronto and what moves they'll make. Some say they were going to make just maybe one more move. And then Chris Johnson of TSN says no, he believes there's maybe more than one move here on the docket for Toronto. So we're going to watch Toronto Maple Leafs closely to see if they pull off anything here in the last couple days. We'll have another report here and an update in a couple days here. Don't forget, check out the Hockey Writers for all of the updates and information. Keep it right here on the YouTube channel as well. And we'll talk to you in a couple days with a few more updates on the NHL trade deadline. Enjoy. It's a fun time of year.